we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third and final game for today at the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup 2014. It'll be England taking on Chile. We've had 2 games already today. The winners going through. Well, they're not knocking anyone out at the moment. We're in the pre-qualifying games, but the winners of today's previous games were Chile over Australia. They won 4-0. And the previous game to that was the hosts and last year's champions, Hong Kong, China, beat the Spanish team, which was put up an amazing game there. The Spanish had a very good game and just got unlucky in the last minute of the last chukker, third chukker. So this one here, we've got the Mexicans taking on the English, and there on your screen is one of the legends of world polo, Carlos Gracida. Not just this polo, but world polo. He went to 10 goals in 1985. Playing with his nephew here will be Carlos Gracida will be playing with his nephew Julio Gracida. He'll be at number 1, Julio, but we'll introduce the players to you shortly after they do the national anthems, and you'll have the Argentine marching band now making its way to the centre of the field to do the national anthems, and then we'll get our game underway, which will be England versus Mexico. In the third game here, third game of the pool, and it will be a very torrid affair. The Mexicans having to, they didn't play here last year. This is their first year here. They've had to qualify to get in here, and then the English, who played very well last year, but this team has changed somewhat. So the number 1 for England, now I think you'll find that team there up on the is Gareth Evans. So that's the South Africans, watching intently to see who's playing well, who's not, so they can see who their opposition may be in the next round of games. But truly amazing facility here, and to have this polo field. You'll see that the God save the Queen. And now we'll have the Mexican national anthem. This is not the Mexican national anthem. This is the marching band coming down to the centre of the field now to the proper introductions. the Mexican team on your screen as they come down and marshal in behind the band for the singing of the national anthem now.
So now we have the team England on our left is the ribbon and the white shirts, and
These two teams will be very easy to distinguish, with the green of the Mexicans and the white of the English.
we will then have, if you wouldn't mind, please standing please for firstly the national anthem of England.
好了，请全体起立，首先奏英国国歌。
Now we'll have the
Mexican
national anthem.
请保持起立，接着奏墨西哥国歌。
Thank you very much to the Argentine marching band.
There we have the
They leave the field.
anthem for the country of Mexico. The marching band will now leave the field, and we will have 3 chukkers of 6 minutes to decide who will win the third game of this first round of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup for 2014. Coming to you from the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin, China. So Max Rutledge, number 1 for England, peels off. Number 2, Max Charlton for England. And at number 3 will be Jack Richardson. Now, I think what you'll find here, the English have changed their jumpers, and there's a little bit of confusion there. So Max Charlton actually has a 3 on his back, and that's Jack Richardson with the blue helmet, the number 2. So number 1, Julio Gracida for Mexico. Number 2, Valerio Aguilar. Number 5, he's a 5-goaler. And at number 3, the infamous Carlos Gracida, the white helmet. He'll be on the grey pony for this first chukker. Now, the ball to be thrown in by Mr. Sun Li Sheng, the National Team Leader of Equestrian Sports, Department of Cycling and Fencing, the Sports Administrative Centre under the General Administration of Sports of China. He'll be throwing this ball in. Mr. Sun Li Sheng. Getting a little bit of order here. England running from the left to the right of your screen, and Mr. Li Sheng throws the ball in, and it's now come out with Carlos Cressida with the back shot. He got hooked on the back shot by Jack Richardson. Now the ball goes up. Who's this? Is this Max Rutledge? Max Charlton, it is. Max Charlton with the green helmet. Now Jack Richardson with the blue helmet for England. Now on the attack. Will he go past Carlos Cressida? Carlos Cressida just watches the ball. Who's in there? Richardson now for England with the blue helmet. Looking for somewhere to hit, but he's been pressured there by the #1 for Mexico. Julio Cressida gets, Charlton gets the very unlucky bounce off the leg of the horse. Now Richardson takes the ball forward with a neck shot, but who's back there? It's Carlos Cressida. Very good #3. Now Cressida goes to hit the ball forward, gets a deflection off the leg and the wall at the same time, but who's there? Julio Cressida now backs it up to the field. Who's there? Aguilar, but Aguilar does not get there, and it's Jack Richardson who cleans it up now. #1, Max Rutledge, the green helmet. Can't quite do it. Carlos Cressida now to the board. Carlos Cressida gets a deflection. Who's back there? Aguilar now looking for Julio Cressida, but the first one back there is Rutledge again. Rutledge for England now. Jack Richardson for England. Big ride off there with Aguilar. Carlos Cressida takes it around to the #3 now. Max Charlton heading across the field, trying to get back to Julio Cressida now. Pulls the whip on the pony. Hustle on the boards now for the English team. The melee is created now. Who comes out of it first? But it's Rutledge for England. Taken forward now by Charlton. But who's back there? Carlos Cressida. Lovely back shot out to the centre of the field. Julio Cressida now tries to get there, but he's taken out of it by Rutledge. Now he backs it down the centre. Aguilar keeps the ball himself for the #2 for Mexico. Lovely launching shot. Gets a good deflection. Will he be ridden out of it by Richardson? Richardson takes the man very well and then gets the back shot. Lovely play, Richardson. Now back shot by Cressida. Looking for Aguilar, who does come up with it under huge pressure there from Richardson. Now it's going to be Aguilar taking forward. Does the dummy back shot. Then turns it. Whistle goes. Looks like Charlton has come up with that. Aguilar thought that he'd created a new line there. He didn't turn it in front of the man. The umpires are discussing. And it will be a spot penalty to England. Looks like Richardson will take it. Very good young team here. The English team, they've a very balanced team. Big hit there by Richardson into the pack. Now, who comes up with it? Carlos Cressida. 6 goals, was 10. Could have been 12 if they had 12. Now, oh, lovely play here by, it's Max Charlton. Max Charlton with plenty of time. Will he be the first one to score? And he is. And it's England, 1-0 over Mexico. Great play there by Charlton. Now, Julio Cressida now heading out to the right, trying to clear it. Can't quite get the hit on it that he wanted, but Carlos keeps it on the grey pony. Carlos Cressida now. Got to try and get past Max Rutledge. Does so, but doesn't quite hit the ball where he wants it. Rutledge now under pressure from Cressida as he heads to the board. Lovely attempt, but didn't quite get it there. Now cleaned up by Richardson, who weaves his way through the legs of the ponies. Now big neck shot, comes off the rump of the pony. Very soft ball this, very hard to get it to go exactly where you want it to go. But now it's Rutledge coming out of the pack with the ball. Now, who's there? Julio Cressida. Julio Cressida clearing it. Is it clear? No, but Aguilar. Now, back shot there by Charlton. Charlton tries to take it around, but it's cleared now by Aguilar. Carlos Cressida and Jack Richardson together. Pressure there by Cressida. Makes Charlton miss that one. Now, back shot there by Rutledge. Rutledge does a lovely back shot, but there's no one back there now except for Cressida for Mexico. Now, he gets a good little bounce. Going to get the deflection here for Charlton. Charlton keeping the ball, but leaves it Now, Gracida chips it out of the divot, takes it up the boards. Who's there? Julio Gracida now concedes the play, but goes for the hook, leaves it for Richardson to take it round to number 1 for England, Max Rutledge with the green helmet now. Rutledge trying to keep the dream alive, keeping the ball out in front, hits it cleanly now. Lovely approach shot for England. Aguilar's back there though. Will it go over the back line? No, still in the field of play. Aguilar keeps it there. And it's gone out over the back line. So, England doing a great job. Very balanced team. No real weak link here. Julio Gracida for Mexico. Wynn just gets hold of that, keeps the ball up, doesn't get the distance he wanted. And that bounces off the top of the boards and stays in the field of play. Great shot there. Now it's still in. Jack Richardson for England, taking the ball around. Going to have to play a big near side back shot. Does so now. And now it's going to be Aguilar taking a neck shot. But Jack Richardson's back there. So the back's playing a very important role here by just... You notice that the defending back is always the last man there, and it's been a positional play is very important here for the number 2. The Hooters gone, the bell's gone. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Can England put another one? They're on the attack now. It's going to be Rutledge now taking it down, gets hooked out of it. Now Richardson for England gets an unlucky bounce off the pony's leg, but who is it? Charlton now hits it up. Oh, great bounce there by Aguilar. Keeps it out, pucks it out of the air. Now Carlos Gracida, big neck shot. Maybe it's going to be Mexico running it down. They've got 6 seconds left on the clock. Here he is, Julio Gracida, then there's no one near him. He's in hot pursuit. Max Rutledge, the Hooters gone, and it's gone wide anyway. But they ran out of time. And it's England, 1-0 over Mexico. So as we go to our break, it's 1-0 in favour of England at the end of the first chukker here at the back here at the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup for 2014, and in the third game here this afternoon, it's England 1-0 over Mexico. So England were the higher seeded team. They were seeded number 1 in their group, and Mexico were seeded number 3, and it's all England at the moment. But again, it is very close. It wasn't like the English got away with a 3-goal lead or anything like that. It was only 1 in it at the end of the first chukker. But a lot of experience and a lot of balance here in this English team. So, Jack Richardson just going on screen. That's Max Rutledge. You can see there with the green helmet. He's on a horse called Emerald, a New Zealand horse. And you'll see Jack Richardson come out on a lovely chestnut horse here called Matilda. I think Max Charlton might be on Coyote.
Pass the ball to one another and try and get some attacking plays going.
Chestnut horse that Max Charlton's on, bred by a very astute polo pony breeder in Australia, a guy called Peter Bonetto. Imported quite a few to England from Australia. And you'll see the umpires here about to throw in to get this second chukker underway, the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup 2014. Ball goes in, out comes Jack Richardson with the blue helmet now on the little pony called Matilda. Now, he checks up, then slips straight past Julio Gracida, but it's going to be Aguilar, goes for the hook, and now it's England first on the board. Is it? It is, and it's that man again, Max Charlton, the number 3 for England. Scored the only goal, whistle's gone. But Max Charlton scored the only goal in the first chukker for England, and they've now blown the whistle. I'm just wondering what happened there. You'll notice that all these ponies, well, you probably won't notice from the television screen, but all of these ponies have what they call studs in their shoes. They it's like a little screw-in bolt that they put into the steel shoes that the horses wear to give them more grip in this surface. and the grooms screw them in before every game and then take them out after the game. But it looks like they're just trying to clarify a rule here, the umpires, with Carlos Gracida. He's asking the question and they're giving him the explanation. J.D. Alberti, the Argentinian umpire, travels the world, umpired the Argentine Open. Well, umpires quite regularly. He travels to Dubai, England. And you've got to give the organisers credit here. They've got two of the best umpires in the world out here umpiring this World Cup. And we're just waiting to see what the ruling was on this goal, because the umpires, Stephen Evans and from South Africa, and J.D. Alberti, in discussion now as to whether this was a goal or not. The scoreboard's still saying 1-0. We're just waiting on a little bit of information as to what this will be here. So I think they're talking to the third man via the microphones that they have. There's a third man on the sideline who... Third man umpire is upstairs. He has made his decision. And we're just waiting to see if that goal is awarded or whether... So, Mexico hit in from the back line. Well, whistle's gone. Again, Carlos Gracida in deep discussions with the umpires.
Have done that anyway. They would have headed in that direction for two chuckers, so instead of doing the first third, they're doing the first second.
好了，那刚刚这个呢，就是还是继续成为这一个进球。
They've awarded the goal to Mexico, to England, sorry. It's 2-0 in favour of England, and Carlos Gracida's not happy. Umpire's saying now that the players weren't ready when the Mexican player hit that. Julio Gracida took that ball in from the back line, and Carlos Gracida was still talking to the umpire. So they've sent him back, and with 5 minutes 32, it's now Mexico on the attack, and they're down 2-0. Gets the deflection there, doesn't quite work now. He's gone up the boards now. Who's there? Jack Richardson now. He's going to have to take it near side because Carlos Gracida's on his near side. Now he gets hooked out of it by Gracida, who can't really get a back shot on it. Now it's going to be our little man, Max Charlton, with the dark blue helmet for England. Now Max Rutledge with the green. He takes it, leaves it for Richardson. Richardson wondering whether he can take it himself. Opens the shoulders, but gets the deflection. Doesn't quite nail it. Now, who's there? It's Richardson again. Lovely back shot across the face of goal is going to be Rutledge on the man. Doesn't quite get it for England. Now it's going to be Gracida taking it forward. Gracida, and it's gone over the back line. So Carlos Gracida, here in China, playing for his country, Mexico, as he's done so many times before in the Coronation Cup and the likes. Now creates the line, appeals for the line, hits it up, gets a deflection off the English pony, but now it's going to be Julio, the nephew, taking it, doesn't quite get it, but who's going to get it? It'll be Max Rutledge with the light green helmet for England. Lovely little shot across the field to Max Charlton on the black horse. Now Max Charlton for England on the black horse, takes it forward. Good little clearing shot into the centre of the field. Now who's going to be back there? Aguilar for Mexico, the number 2. Does a little cut shot back across the tail. First onto it is Max Charlton. Max Charlton being sandwiched there in between the two Mexicans, Julio and Carlos Gracida at once. Umpire saying that I think they've blown the whistle against the Mexicans for hooking Charlton on the way up with his backswing. Yeah, you'll see here, as he's gone up to take his backswing, he has been hooked by the Mexican player. Even if it's inadvertently, they still get the penalty. If you are in the throes of getting on the upward part of your backswing and you get hooked, you do get a penalty. So it's a spot penalty to England. And they opens the shoulders. Lovely shot, but the bounce has beaten them and it's come up in the face of Aguilar. Doesn't seem to worry him now. Will Richardson be able to get it near side here? He's got plenty on it and it's going to go through. So it will be now 3-2. The young English team putting on a great show here this afternoon. Mexico with the quick play the ball now. Carlos Gracida taking the ball out to the right. Julio marking his man for him, clearing some space. But it's going to be Charlton that's going to shadow Gracida. But so Gracida unloads the big ball, looking for Aguilar, the number 2 for Mexico. Now, he just keeps it looking for some green Mexican players to go past him. They don't. They all stay behind and shuffle up. Now it's going to be Gracida getting into field position now, getting ready to open the shoulders and have one big strike at goal. He's going to just do a lovely soft shot, but the wind gets hold of that one and it's gone out over the back line in the far right corner. And England never really in huge danger there. And it'll be Jack Richardson with the blue helmet for England. Taking it. Well, whistle's gone, saying not ready. So 2 minutes 30 in the second chukker left on the clock, 2 minutes 38. And it's all England at the moment. Good little play, passage of play there by the Mexicans to get it up there, but they didn't really get the ball close enough to be any real threat for the English players. Now, Jack Richardson had a great year this year, played some amazing polo with the UAE polo team in England, won the Elliston tournament back in Australia. Future looks very bright for these young English players coming up through the Pony Club system, the Polo Pony Club they have over there. Now, Richardson, look, he knew he had his number 3 out there. Lovely little shot on the Black Horse required, but he just couldn't get it. I think it might have been in the divot there. Look at this, Carlos Gracida just standing there waiting for it. There's the ball, says, I'll take that. Now he's looking for someone to hit it to, opens the shoulders. Will it go out over the boards? And it does. So sometimes that play's used a little bit like rugby. They'll do a clearing kick just to get themselves back into field position. Now, who's out here? Julio Gracida from Mexico now, taking the ball up the line. He's got a big neck shot towards the centre. He was looking for Carlos to come through there, but Carlos didn't quite read it, but he's onto it now. Carlos misses it. A very rare miss for Carlos Gracida now. Jack Richardson appealing for the line, doesn't quite get it. Carlos still got it, backs it, gets the bounce. Jack Richardson now gets the bounce. Max Charlton leaves it behind. Now it's Charlton. He's clear again out in front. Charlton unmarked. Very dangerous thing to let happen. And oh, it's hit the post now. Here he goes. Aguilar, back shot across, looking for Carlos Gracida. First onto the line. Did Rutledge come down the line? Did he cross the line? It's been kept out of the goal mouth there by Mexico. Now Carlos Gracida opens it, sends the pony, but doesn't. Now back shot. Here we go. Has he put it through? And he has. It's Max Charlton for England now, with 50 seconds on the clock. And we're going to go slow-mo here, and here he goes. Hits the post, unlucky, kept out of there by Mexico. The ball's gone up, and it's Max Charlton, lovely back shot straight through the goal mouth. And it's 4-0 in favour of England. Mexico a little bit shell-shocked here, but it's going to be Carlos Gracida now bringing it in off the back line. And there he goes, out to the left of the field. No one's marking him. Jack Richardson just shadowing him a bit, just waiting for an unlucky bounce or see if he can get the hook on him, and he does. Back hooks it beautifully, looking to bounce that one off the boards. Does so, but the first man back there is Julio Gracida. Hooter's gone. And at the end of the second chukker, it's all England at the moment. 4-0. in favour of the English. Umpire leaves the ball on the field where the game stopped. But after this break, we'll be right back with the third and final chukker of this third game. And we're back at the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup for 2014 for the third and final chukker of this third qualifying game. First seed against third seed. And the score tells the tale of the seeding with England 4, Mexico 0. So it's all uphill now for the Mexicans. Definitely doable, and they definitely, with the strike power of Carlos Gracida in their team, they can definitely do it from here. So the umpire's just marshalling the players as they, you'll see these, the green buggies that drag the chain across the field. After every chukker, they just run the chain over just to fill in any divots or smooth out any lumps and bumps, so we have the best possible playing surface for these ponies. We don't want any of the players or the horses to get injured. And the umpire's just waiting for those buggies to leave the field. And the ball's being thrown in now, and it's Carlos Gracida for Mexico with the first hit of the ball. All the work in front of the Mexicans now as Jack Richardson just takes his man and leaves the ball there for Max Charlton, who backs it beautifully across to his other man, Max Rutledge, with the green helmet, but it's Carlos Gracida that's come up with it. Now, Jack Richardson can't go in there. He's fouled. If he does, he's walked out of the play because he knew he was in the wrong spot. And Carlos Gracida opens the shoulders and it goes out over the back line. So, yeah, so Carlos Gracida copping a whack in the leg from a mallet in the previous chukker. But he's fine now. Max Charlton bringing the ball in for the English team. Oh, hits it cleanly. It's got a lot of air. It's got hit the fence, but it's gone out over the back line, over the side. So it'll be a throw in by the umpires, probably 50 metres off the back line. Ball gets thrown in. And it's going to be Julio Gracida for Mexico now with a near side shot, but it's Max Rutledge now. Lovely little back shot. First one back there though is Carlos Gracida. Now Max Charlton, big ride off there, but Gracida still able to get the ball to his nephew Julio Gracida now. Julio just trying to get the ball through the legs. The wave, the flag has gone up. And it's goal time for Mexico. So they had to be the first ones to score here, and they were. So it's now 4-1. And here he goes. Hook gets to keep the ball, leaves it behind for Aguilera, which is a lovely little play there by Mexico. But now it's going to be Rutledge now taking it forward for England. The number 1 hitting it up to Charlton on the black horse. Little back shot there by Aguilar, who gets it to Gracida. Unlucky for Gracida, who the ball hits the pony now. Clearing shot by Julio Gracida. He's a long way from home. Julio Gracida now backs it. Who's going to be the first one there? Charlton can't do much with it. Carlos, a little bit of cat and mouse here with Jack Richardson. Lovely play to Aguilar, who's being hard ridden by the English now. Max Charlton. Aguilar can't keep the dream alive. Little belly shot there by Max Rutledge across to the boards. And it's going to be now Julio Gracida on the grey horse. Hard ridden there. Ball comes up now. Good melee on the boards. Little hit through there by Charlton. Gets a good deflection off the boards to Rutledge, who backs it, but he's not in a position. Now it's going to be Carlos Gracida cleaning it up. Turns the pony around. Looking for someone to hit to. Hits it forward now. Gracida takes the man and leaves it behind for Julio, the nephew. Now, neck shot across. Gracida now. It's going to be Rutledge back, looking for someone. He comes up with a Mexican player now. It's going to be Aguilar taking forward. Little away shot now. Bounces off the leg of the pony of the English player, but it's going to be Jack Richardson who clears it, but he can't get enough on it, or as much as he wanted. Mallet's in the air, looking for, appealing for the line. Who's here? Yep. Umpires agree. The players saying that the Mexican player, we might get a... So what it was, the English player was coming up the line, and the Mexican player went across that line. We talked about this earlier on. Once that ball goes in a certain direction, that creates a line. You cannot cross that line and play at the ball unless you were the one that created the line. So the English created that line. They were the first ones onto it. Now, big hit there by Jack Richardson for England. Will it cross the back line? Kept into play by, no. Oh, it was a good attempt there by Charlton. Max Charlton tried to do a little back shot across the field to just get that in the goal mouth, but in doing so it went out over the back line. So now it's Carlos Gracida on the chestnut horse. Carlos Gracida being hard ridden by Max Rutledge there. The feisty Englishman going up against the old fox, Carlos Gracida. One of Queen Elizabeth's most favourite players in the world, or has been quoted as saying that he is her favourite player in the world. There he goes with the ball. Carlos Gracida. Was 10 goals. Now Jack Richardson, maybe on his way to 10 goals. Currently on 5, on the black horse now. Near side shot, lovely little near side shot. Up the board, who's first there? It's all England at the moment. The two Maxes, Max Charlton and Max Rutledge now. But it's Julio Gracida who's turned this player around very quickly, left the ball behind for Carlos Gracida with the white helmet now. Carlos Gracida, hard, big right off and back shot by Max Rutledge now. Julio Gracida from Mexico. It's just, they can turn defence into attack so quickly, but this looks dangerous now for the Mexicans. Max Rutledge, lovely little approach shot now by Max Charlton. Will he put another one on? He does so, and it's now 5 goals to 1 in favour of the English. Max Charlton having an amazing game there. He's got the number 3 on his back at the moment.
With 45 seconds left in the chucker. England.
Max
4 goals in front.
Charlton for
5
England.
to 1 the score.
Having an absolute blinder.
Possession back out there by Charlton.
Now, Julio Gracida. They have to come up with an answer very quickly. I just don't think they're going to get there this afternoon, the Mexicans. 25 seconds left on the clock. The ball's gone out. A quick throw-in required by the umpires. But it looks like England will wrap this one up here this afternoon. 5 goals to 1, England, with 10 seconds left on the clock. Carlos Gracida, big neck shot down across the field, looking to attack the goals. Hooked out of it there by Max Rutledge. That's the end, and the end of the 3rd game here this afternoon. And the winners, England, 5 goals to 1 over Mexico. The combination of Max Rutledge, Jack Richardson and Max Charlton playing extremely well to neutralise the attack of the Mexicans. The Mexicans being Julio Gracida, Valerio Aguilar and Carlos Gracida at number 3. Didn't have the answers required to beat the English here today, but they were not disgraced. It was a the score did not represent the quality of this game. And the 2 teams will leave the field and get those ponies back and put them in their stable. And at the end of the 3rd, yes, the score line, 5 goals to 1. A very convincing win for the English. And we will be coming back to you after this break with so at the end of the 3rd game here this afternoon, the 3 winners are Hong Kong, China with 2 points, Chile with their 2 points, and England with their 2 points, and the 3 countries that have lost will all sit on the 0 points. So that scoreboard tells the story, and there'll be plenty more games tomorrow. We'll be back shortly with the wrap-up of today's games.